I am so excited to be here because you all are my favorite type of people in the world, coaches, right? And as coaches, the thing you do is make a huge difference in the world. And when I got into social media, I realized it was for me because I could help people like you do your work with the right people at the right time and get out there in an easier, more visible way. So social media leveled the playing field for coaches, for entrepreneurs, for small business owners, and that's why I wrote the book. Social Media Myths Busted, the Small Business Guide to Online Revenue. I was getting question after question after question, like, it's a time suck. Nobody responds to me. I don't get any business from it. Well, I bust all those myths in the book. And today I'm going to talk to you about Instagram. We may even coach each other because you may have had experiences that are way more interesting than some of the things I've had. And we'd like to hear. We can mastermind always. And that's what I love about coaches and the coaching process. So I always take my coaching hat with me. So I don't think I'm the smartest person in the room. I'm just someone who has a lot of questions and I have some answers, okay? So let's dive right in. I have a ton of information. We could be here for 2 days talking about Instagram, how to use it, and Instagram strategy, why it's great, who it's for, who it's not for, but but we're not going to do that. We have like an hour, okay? And I want to leave time for questions. And Javon, are you going to be giving me the sign when it's 15 minutes to the end or 15 minutes to questions? To the end. Okay, great. So I love this platform. I just give you a little bit of background on myself. I've been doing social media marketing since 2005. I think my LinkedIn, I know we're not talking about LinkedIn, but that's one of the earliest platforms I was on, was in 2005. But you know, even before that, we had things like Yahoo groups. Anybody remember that? Anybody still using them? There are people still using them. That's okay. It's a great tool. And that was like kind of one of the early iterations of social media. There were even earlier ones actually in the 90s. So you'd be dating yourself if you said you've been on those too. But I have been doing marketing consulting since the 90s. So I'm a marketer first and a coach first and a social media marketer second, like many people who have been in marketing for a long time. But that's why I got so excited about social media, because when my marketing strategies, and those of you who've known me for a while know that it's all about building relationships. And as a coach, would you agree that's really important before to sell a product, is to build that relationship? And not only did social media level the playing field for small business owners, but it developed a platform where we could build relationships with people we wouldn't have otherwise had the opportunity to do so. So, so I've been doing marketing, since before the century, let's call it that. And I founded this digital agency probably about 5 years ago when clients came to me and they'd say, I need help with social media. Now I was training in social media strategy since 2008. So 9. You know what happened in 2008, remember? But there's something else that happened in addition to that financial crisis. All right, so that's when social media really took off. It was the critical mass. It really was developing momentum. I noticed it 2005, 2006, 2007. Wake up, Laura, let's get training because your clients can use this. And which would be people like you. And everybody needs to know. And I wanted to shout it from the rooftops. And so I started training on it, and then the market crashed. But that was interesting because I was coaching at the time financial advisors. So just as social media is hitting the scene, I'm getting really excited. Most of my regular clients had to go deal with their crises, which was perfect timing for me, as it turned out. So it worked out for me okay. I like to see a benefit in the things that happen that are crises, and hopefully you do too. Then in 2011, a colleague of mine and I were talking, and we're like, gosh, we are like mini influencers here. We're using that term way back then, okay? You all heard the word influencer today it's a buzzword. Well, we were like, we are influencers and we should be able to leverage each other's networks, right? What if we were like buzzing out on social media for each other and really supporting each other in getting the buzz going? So I said, yeah, it would be great to have a social buzz club. Boom, we created a platform. It's gamified, where people share each other's content for each other and buzz out about each other. It's for Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn at the moment, because on Instagram, you don't really do a whole lot of sharing of other people's content. It's more a platform for yourself. So, and we'll talk about how do you actually involve other people and how do influencers actually do reach out to you, but it's not in the same way you do it on the other networks. So that's a little bit about me, so you have a little background to know why I'm so passionate about networking online. And you can get there too if you're not. How many like Instagram already? How many want to like Instagram? Okay. Well, you might want to like it because of the statistics you see up here. First of all, 80% of users follow a business account or someone who's using Instagram for business. And 83 discover new services there. 83% of people using Instagram discover products, and 30% actually admit to buying things from Instagram. So using their mobile device. Instagram is heavy based mobile, although they do have the ability to go on and use it, view things. The functionality on the web, using your desktop or laptop, is a little more limited than from an app. But you can still do it. I like my desktop better because I type better there. I did just do an Instagram post out about this event, and I didn't do as much as I would have in the caption or the description because of I was trying to do it really fast. But we're going to talk about how to get around that on a regular basis by planning out your content ahead, typing it all out, and then it's not this last minute thing unless you're doing a story. So that brings me to, this is a new paradigm. So I was walking yesterday, or the day before, it was the day before, and in Westwood, LA, UCLA area, and with my cousin who's at UCLA, and behind me, I don't know that she heard, but I heard these two guys talking. I'm done with Facebook. I don't even go to Facebook. Facebook is, this is like random. So people are leaving Facebook that are of that generation, right? So know that you can be there, but if you want to start attracting the young adults who are up and coming, they're really over Facebook, and they have been for a couple of years. Has anybody noticed that in your families, people of that age, or maybe yourself? How many of who knows? So. But Instagram is really fun. Here's why. It's your ability to create your online magazine, right? So you can display what's important about the work you do, about your passion and your personality. So you do want to put some personality in there. And your value and your results. And in your Instagram strategy playbook that you've got, it's the 2-sheet, it's the handout for this course. I want to help you design your bio, that first part of your account that you're going to optimize, because that's the thing that people will see and get the first sense of your personality. Or they're going to go, if they see a post from you and that's intriguing to them, they're going to go there and then they're going to want to know more about you. So that's your little space, and you don't get a lot. You get 150 characters, and then you get a link, right? So the things to put in there are some keywords that people are searching for that also distinguish you. Not just coaching, but what kind of coaching? Coach training, or what kind of coaching do you do? Or what is the keywords for your brand or your business that people will be searching for? And you got to put a little personality in there, so you might want to use a couple of emojis. Emojis will help you stand out. Doesn't have to be the cheesy emojis. It could be symbols. It could be arrows or hearts or diamonds or stars, okay? Like a little bullet point, just to draw a little bit of attention to you. But we want to, it's a place where you can build this sense of, we're a fun or friendly brand. We are here to get things done. We are professional. We are trustworthy. We are corporate. Just choose what is the energy you want to come forth with. We are here to ignite you, to excite you, to calm you, to what is it? So start thinking about, and that's one of the first things on your sheet there, that you should start thinking about what is the energy or feminine. A lot of women are into supporting women come back into their feminine power. So how do we do that? How do you stand in your power? How can you represent that online in a way that feels authentic for you, not your digital marketer, consultant? You've got to work together. They've got to get you. If you're going to hire a digital marketer for you, or a social media VA, don't just go with what they want. Make sure they get who you are. First tip on that. So we've been talking about getting your account set up. It is recommended to do a business account, and you can, in the settings, change your personal account to a business account. You get a few extra things going for you there. You get the ability for people to email you directly from Instagram. So if you want people to email you, it's a nice idea. You get more analytics as well. There are a few other things you get. So it's recommended. It's not a have to. There's no have tos here. This is the beauty of it. And this is why I call myself a boutique digital marketing agency, because I really want to make it work for your brand. It's not a cookie cutter thing that I can give you, that you can expect results time after time, doing the same thing for the same brands. It's more organic than that. Please, though, use a photo if you are your brand. Don't use your logo. If you're a corporate, obviously, and you're not a person and you're representing a corporation, then you'll use the corporation logo, but more interaction happens with someone's face, okay? So a nice photo would be great. In your bio, put, like I said, your personality in there, the keywords, relevant emojis we talked about, and one link. You get one link. This is the bummer to me about Instagram. If I could change one thing about Instagram, maybe the Instagram gods will hear me. By the way, did you know that? Oh, thank you. Okay, dear Instagram god, please make more ability to have clickable links in Instagram. I really, really, really would love that. It would make my life so much easier. It would make all these people's lives, so many people in the world. Okay. I don't know that prayer is going to be answered, so I'm going to talk today about what you can do around that with this one link, okay? So it comes with creating an overarching strategy, though, okay? So we have to think, and we can change up our strategies. It's okay, especially if we find, we want better results, we want different results, we want to see what the difference would be. It's good. There's a lot of testing that goes on in the social media world. So if it doesn't work one way, don't say, oh, it doesn't work. It just means let's try something different and keep seeking and searching and finding your home there. So you can do, how many of you have a blog? I'm going to invite you, thank you, I'm glad you do, because if you have wisdom, you're positioned as a thought leader with your articles. A blog isn't a batch of articles that if anybody produce content, anybody have wisdom that they're willing to share and showcase, then your blog is the place, because it will drive traffic back to your website from social media. Now, why do you want to do that? Because you don't want your business just to live on social media. Please. Here's the quote that you should remember if you haven't already heard it. Don't build your business on rented land. Okay? You don't own social media. They change the rules all the time. All the time. And that's the one thing you can count on. They will change the rules. So maybe they'll let clickable links one day, and maybe they won't the next. Okay? By the way, there is, I just realized the Instagram gods did hear me. There is one place in Instagram that links are clickable, in Instagram TV descriptions. I believe when you're watching it, I read or heard something just the other night that there's a hack there. That there's one place that these links can be clicked. So in addition to the bio, but the bio can be used very strategically. And you see on the screen here, did I do it? No, it's actually on your handout. There's a couple of different services out there that offer, if you click the link, it comes up with a list of options of places to click through to. So you can have multiple links. And one of them, which is free for 3 links, is called bio.fm. And if you go to that website, you can sign up for free and you can create a link that pops up 3 options. So you can send people to your blog, you can send people to a freebie, you can send people to somewhere else you want them to go. Could be your LinkedIn, could be another place on your website. Then you'll have 3 places, which is really cool, all right? And that one's free. There's people use Linktree. Have you seen those Linktree links? That one also has similar. You can have more. Bio.fm, if you pay for it, you can have more. That's brand new, I think, the bio.fm, and they're saying they're the best right now. I don't know if they are, but check it out. See if it works for you. And then I personally I actually just changed over. Before, I was using a link to a free gift, my Savvy Social Media Marketing Blueprint. So you could link there, and that happens to be at my page, which is my blog. It's at the top of my blog. So it kind of was dual anyway. So think strategically. We want to know what your end goal is for social media, for Instagram. What is it that you want? Who do you want to talk to, and what do you want them to do? All right, so that's set up. But here's the 3 C's to Instagram success. Content, connecting, or the popular word is engagement, but I needed a C word, so I use connecting, and calls to action. Or conversion is also the lead generation. So the 3 C's and how you get the conversion is those calls to action. Okay, so content, which everybody's seen the feed, everybody's seen an Instagram post. Has anybody never seen an Instagram post? Oh, good. That's good. You get 8 pluses. All right. So here's what Instagram looks like. This is the neighborhoods, shall we say, the areas. You've got 4 of them, okay? You've got, in the biggest one is the posts, right? The feed, the Instagram feed, right? And then you have the stories, which, has anybody done an Instagram story? Instagram stories was Instagram's answer to Snapchat. Snapchat is used by the younger than millennials, the Gen Zs, mostly, and some millennials. Think they're cool because they're using Snapchat. But stories last for 24 hours unless you select them to be a highlight, and then they get archived. And I'll go through all this later, and I'll show you what it looks like. Then there's 2 other video neighborhoods in Instagram. Instagram Live, which just stays up while you're live. And you can save them to your phone if you remember to do it right when you end the broadcast. If you don't, it's gone, poof, like it never existed. But if you do them consistently, people know to find you. And you can also invite somebody else on those Instagram Lives. Instagram TV shows up in your feed. It becomes a post. And those can be up to an hour. So that's the 4th neighborhood. All right, and we're going to talk about all those things. So what to put in your post, the feed. You can put in video and you can put in images, okay? And you can put in multiple images called carousels, meaning people can swipe through to multiple images. So, but the key to know is that you want to plan out your content. And Sylvia, this is where you had people helping you create content, right? And descriptions.
Yes, they designed the visual, and I created the caption.
Great.
And as I said, it looked all super polished and on brand and great, but somehow it didn't click with me. For me, I have this intuitive gut response to things, so I open my feed and I either smile or I don't. And it didn't smile. That makes sense.
Yes, so I'm going to repeat for the camera here. So Sylvia's saying she had a team develop her content, and mostly the image, the visual, and you would write the caption description, but when you looked at it, it didn't make you smile. Yeah. Okay. So good. So we got halfway there. Like you got the captions you loved. Yeah. Did you like your captions, the descriptions, or you couldn't even get? Yes.
Yes. Well, they were my authentic words.
Yes. Good. So we just needed different imagery to help bring that out. And yeah, we do want to set your branding. We do want to have a theme-ish. And you know what? I'd rather you have stuff that makes you smile than have a beautiful brand. Did look. all right, and you have things that really represent and you feel you're really connecting with people, then it looking super duper fabulous, it can look okay. You know, like as long as it doesn't look like you're taking pictures of, you know, blurry whatevers, but it represents your brand, which if it represents your brand, it's going to feel and look good. It's got to make you smile, right? So there needs to be a revamp, a tweak to that. It's just like, yeah, that would work. So we have to massage that. That's what I'm going to invite you to do, is massage that. Revisit that. And then spend 2 hours a week planning that content. What types of content do you want? And I actually, if you look at your strategy there, your little playbook, one of the things at the top is I have a planner for you. It's a Google Sheet. And if you go to that link that's at the top of that sheet, you can sign up for that. And it's at transformtoday.com/IG planner. And you can get that, but you'll want to have this playbook. If you don't have this playbook, you can email me and I'll get you the playbook, which is the handout that goes with this class. So, you know, you spend 2 hours a week and you want to establish what are these categories of content you're going to be putting out. You're going to put out tips, or you're going to put out something personal. By the way, if you're out traveling, you can take pictures. You can have scenic photos, and then in your captioning, in your description, relate it back to something. Like, it's good to take a break, get a different perspective, go visit a beautiful part of the world, take a breath, and come back to your work. You'll be more effective at coaching when you do that. You see how I just made it relevant, that my travel picture to my business? You can have inspiring photos if you love to take photos. If you love to be with your kids and you're okay with putting some photos with kids at the playground, or you can tie in how a childlike attitude or the lessons you've learned from today from your children are. So things that are relevant in your life, make them relevant to your business. And then you can bring it in. So you want to think through this, like maybe once every 6 posts, you'll do something, the lesson from the kid, right? You might do once every 12 posts, a travel thing. You might do food. If you're a foodie, how do you connect this in? You don't have to, but you can. I do. I once posted, and this was before Instagram, but I remember posting my recipe in a little infographic on Facebook, on my social media page, my unusual chicken curry salad, my yummy and unusual chicken curry salad. So in the caption was, "We do great social media and we like to eat well too." Right? And here's a gift, and everybody's like, cool, right? So that's how you can draw in things. And I'm going to give you some visuals of some, here's some ideas. So mine is kind of a hodgepodge, but it kind of works. I'm going to be planning out more, but I'm making everything relevant when you read the captions. And it kind of gives you a sense of the life and the work I do. Brian Smith, he's the founder of UGG Boots, right? Yeah, he's a great guy. We've got him going with more of a branded look. You can see the blues, you can see his image sprinkled in, you can see the surfing and see how it's kind of branded, but he loves this, right? Because it's got his coloring, the blue and the browns. And then Melanie, you can see how she uses the teals, and she's a coach, and she's a well-known podcaster as well. And so it doesn't have to be perfect. We've got like a patchwork here. You can see the dark and the light reflecting. So you don't have to think it through too much, but go establish 3 or 4 colors that you like. Mine is more brightly colors, the purples and the teals. This is the browns and the blues. And then when you see something in nature that kind of matches your colors, take a picture of it, use it, right? Then you can also use tinting to get your colors kind of to match. So that's kind of a look and feel to make it more attractive looking. But mostly people are going to see one image and then go to your feed first. They'll see it in a feed somewhere. So don't worry. I don't want you to spend too much on the look and feel. I want you to really love what you post, especially if it's the captioning. The captioning is actually more important than the image. The image has to attract them in first. But then what you say to them, and by the way, don't be afraid to put long explanations or tips in there. If you want to train on something, a mindset thing, What kind of coaches do we have in the room? Give me a genre. Speaking tips, right? You're training coaches how to coach, right? So how to be an effective coach, like 6 steps. You could actually write like mini blog posts in there, and then invite people to do something. And we're going to talk about that in a moment. But people always ask me about these hashtag things. Who does not know what a hashtag is? Oh, good, y'all know. Well, do you know that there's a difference between a tag and a hashtag? Okay, good. So for those of you who don't know, a tag is when you mention somebody and usually use the @ sign and their username or their name, and you click on their name and it becomes a clickable link to their profile. That's a tag. A hashtag is completely different. Hashtag is any word or phrase preceded by that pound sign, hashtag sign, number sign, whatever you want to call it. When you put that number sign, that hashtag in front, that pound sign in front of a word or a phrase with no spaces, then you create a clickable link to every post that uses that same phrase with the hashtag in front of it. It's called a hashtag, right? So hashtag is the symbol itself, and it's the whole phrase with the symbol. So why would you want to do that? Any thoughts on that? Why would you want to use hashtags? Yes, Sylvia.
So that people can find our feed looking for a specific interest. Let's say they are looking for success principles, which is one of my hashtags, and hopefully they will find my page my Instagram feed, when they put in the hashtag success principles.
Brilliant. She's using the hashtag success principles in her post because she wants people to find her when they use that hashtag, when they search that hashtag. So bottom line, it expands your reach and visibility. So I'm going to give you a hashtag strategy to help with that, because success principles is probably a moderately to high use volume hashtag. Yes? Do you know how high it is, or is it?
I haven't looked recently,
okay.
So
So everybody look it up, search it, and if you want, tell me what it is, how many. If somebody has their Instagram open and wants to look, you can tell me how many posts are with hashtag success principles, and then we'll talk about it in this slide. So how many hashtags should you use? Well, you're allowed up to 30.
in one post?
In one post, yeah. And I would recommend using at least 15 and up to 25 or all 30. And here's my formula that will help you get more visibility. Use 4 to 5 or high volume. What I mean by high volume, not the mega volume, not like hashtag quote. Okay, you can use it, but there's like billions of them out there, right? And so billions is you get lost in a haystack. But if you have, and maybe I'm exaggerating, it may not be billions, it may be like 12 million. But if you use high volume, there's a slight difference between the two. But in our reality, not much. What I want you to look for are hashtags with 100,000 to about 1 million. You can go 2 million. 5 of those. And that could be where success principles lies, or it could be in the moderate. And I want you to use 5 of those, which is about 10,000 to 400,000 searches. And then 5 niche specific. So I actually came up with this idea. I don't know why I didn't do it before. But on Twitter, my handle is Coach Laura. My username is Coach Laura. On Facebook, my profile is Coach Laura. But on Instagram, I wasn't able to get Coach Laura. I got Coach Laura R. So y'all should connect with me, Coach Laura R, Laura Rubinstein on Instagram. But what if I did a hashtag Coach Laura? Now, okay, and I bundle them in with these other high volume to moderate volume, so that I'm found, and if somebody said, oh, Coach Laura is in this, then they can see all of my posts with Coach Laura in it. By the way, you can go back and add hashtags to posts.
So you can edit?
You can edit your comments. So go ahead and feel free to do that as a, secondary strategy.
The Instagram gods are good.
They are good. They are good. Instagram is good. It's fun. It's your online magazine. It's cool. So here's some examples of coaching. I just typed in the word coaching when I was searching under the hashtag there, and 13.4 million posts. That's a little. It's on the upper end. You could use it, but Coaching Life is a really good one for the moderate. Coaching Tips at 103,000. okay? So for the coaches in the room, coaching quotes, that's pretty good. That's a moderate one. So just by searching coaching, that's what came up in the top. You can search for coaching tips and then see what else comes up. Coaching spiritual, coaching e-spiritual, and you could type in spiritual coaching if that's the kind you do. You could do mindset coaching and see what the volume is. So you all see where you see the volume, right? And then use the formula here. And obviously this is 15, so you could do, oops, sorry. Yeah, you can do more of them. So here are some examples that I did do some searching for you. And you can take a photo. I'll be Vanna. All right, so high volume is, what is it? What's high volume? How many posts?
A million posts, 100K to a million.
Yeah, 100K to a million. So things like coaches, believe it or not, had 648,000. Pretty interesting. Now, you may be lumped in with athletic coaches there too.
It's common.
So, just know that you might want to see if you can get a little bit more specific on it. Although you never know. You never know who might find you. So try different things, play with them. I try all kinds. This, by the way, is A Conscious Coach on Instagram. And this is at the bottom of their post. Do you see these two dots? There's actually a third one above it. That's a spacer. So they wrote their caption and they put these at the bottom by putting some periods in and hard returns to space it so it doesn't like muck up the whole message, but it's still in there for search purposes. And you can see what they used. Womanpreneur, woman entrepreneur. I don't think they use womanpreneur, but that would be another one to look up. So you can take a look, and I'm not sure what the puppy and the doggo is, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. But somebody loves puppies and doggo, and so you know, yeah, exactly, right? So some puppy love, they love puppies, who knows? But the moderate would be life coach tips, so life coaching tips. I think there's a G missing in there. I apologize. That should have a G right there. And then a conscious coach and San Diego coach is a nice one for a niche branded coach. So if you're looking for coaching clients in San Diego or you want to show up in San Diego, you also can use the hashtag San Diego business or things like that. Cool, right? Everybody feel a little bit enlightened with hashtags? Yes, great. So let's go to the next neighborhood, Instagram stories. Instagram's answer to Snapchat, as I mentioned earlier. It's the raw behind the scenes fun forum. It's available for 24 hours and you get great visibility out of it because they show up at the top in the circles with the outlines. They put your picture up there to your followers. And that's why you can also geolocate yourself on them. You can tag them and go back in there before you post them, put some stickers on it and have fun with it. And get the geolocation. You might show up in searches when people are searching your location. Pretty cool, right? So it gets you in front of new people that way, especially if you use those tags. You can tag yourself at a store. You can tag other people you're with. Don't tag somebody you're not with or is not relevant, okay? It's just not cool. Instagram is onto you for that. They will get onto you for those things. So this is what it looks like at the top of your feed. You've seen these. This is the stories in case you don't know, right? If you have this colored outline, it means there's a live story available. If there's no outline, well, you won't see them. That's who shows up at the top, okay? But if you go to their profile and they have an outline around their profile picture, it means they have a current story up. Again, they're live for 24 hours. And you can use them for all kinds of things. Announce your giveaways, announce a launch, shout out to a fellow influencer or a fellow coach. It's really good to do that, right? And you can ask questions and engagement. There is a place where people can respond back to you, right? And let you know what oh, cool shot, great to see you, congratulations, whatever. You can do tutorials. I highly recommend you do tutorials if you're in a business that is helping people learn stuff or grow. Yeah?
How long can stories be that they are long enough to do a tutorial?
So when you hold the button down, it does 15-second segments, but it keeps continuous for up to 60, and then you can do another one. Okay? So you can have it be pretty long. Yeah. But if you can get it in sound bites, that would be great. Some little sound bites. There's something, this is an advanced thing, Join Chat, that's kind of new. It's a sticker that if you put it on your post, they will message you to those, and you want to make sure you're speaking to it in the story, but you can invite them to a group chat about a certain topic, and you can have up to 32. Do you have a question?
Do you like the join chat feature? Is it something that
I do love it. I think it's really cool, and here's why. Because if you want to invite people to have a deeper discussion on something or ask you questions about your program, you can actually put a link in the chat that's clickable. Yay! Instagram gods answered my prayers. Do you not like it?
No, I'm new to it.
Okay, yeah. So the question was, do you like the join chat? Yes, that's why I put it in here, because I thought it was the coolest thing that I just came across. So yeah, a little extra advanced tip for you there. So this is the really cool thing about Instagram stories, is that you can save them in an archived way, an organized archive way, and you can make it look really spiffy on your site through things called highlights. And so this is where you plan your content out. So you could do planning your stories that you want to do in general. It's like if you every Monday you want to release a tip, it would be, or Tuesday, Tips Tuesday. That's kind of a nice acronym. I do a social media Tips Tuesday, and those will be going in my tips, which I don't have yet, because I do them right now on Facebook. And I just got the idea, like, hey, I should just be repurposing, that's a lovely word, repurposing that content over on Instagram. So into a tips highlight, which is generated from a story that you save to a highlight. And you can organize these. You can put a cover card on your highlight. Isn't that nice? You know, you can put words in it or pictures in it, and then you caption them. And people can see by category your content. So it's like really cool. So you could do what services you talk about, behind the scenes, inspiration, live events, local things that you do. That would be your highlights. Getting some ideas, everybody? Okay, hope you're brainstorming as things coming to your mind. Write it down. So the next neighborhood, because we have to move along, is Instagram Live. Sorry. You can go live for up to an hour, I believe, but then they disappear unless you click save before you share. And then you can share it. So they do disappear unless you share them. But save them to your phone, and then you can do something with Instagram TV next, which is uploaded to Instagram TV, which would be really cool. By the way, you can invite another person on. Has anybody done a live with, or been a guest on a live, or done a live with another person? Yeah? What did you do?
It was a friend who was doing finances, and I just had a question for him, and I kind of just quickly hopped on, just to ask like a quick finance question. I was asking about it, and it was really cool because it was allowing me to kind of just quickly interact. And then he was, you're able to click them off too when you're done.
So here's the cool thing. Here's a strategy for you all. I didn't write it down. It just came to mind based on what Devon was saying, which is, okay, so he saw somebody live in finance, had a question, and when someone's on live, you can actually request to go on live with them. And especially if they're saying, hey, does anybody have a question, then you can raise your hand through a button on the live link there. And that's what you did, right? Mm-hmm. You answered that question, and you said, yes, I have a question. And so the beauty of that is now you're being seen to a whole new audience. Your Instagram account is then featured along with that other guy because you're on, and your username is right there with the Instagram person who's going live. So you don't even have to go live, just hop on other people's lives, and you can be liking and commenting, and you're seen, especially if you're making really wise comments. I don't mean wise cracks, I mean wisdom comments, okay? Although if you're in the comedy space, then wise cracks might be appropriate. So, but that's Instagram Live, and people can join in. So you can ask people to join you, or you can pre-plan that. So I've seen authors be interviewed on Instagram Lives. If you have a book and you want to interview somebody, you can do that. Or if you want to interview anybody in your field, you want to interview me, I do that all the time. If you want me to interview you, let's talk. Okay, so be consistent. So plan a time for your content. Announce it 24 hours in a story ahead of time, because that story lasts for 24 hours. So do it exactly 24 hours before, and then it will be perfect timing. And or like 23 and a half hours, 23, whatever. Anyway, you get the idea that you have the story live, letting people know you're going to be live in 24 hours or at this particular time. Put it in your newsletter, put it on Facebook, put it on Twitter, put it on LinkedIn. Let's leverage your other networks to help you on Instagram as well and grow it. Have a structure for your live that you're going to do on Instagram. How long what are you going to talk about? What are the key points you're going to cover? How are you going to open and close it? What's going to be your call to action at the end? Okay, we'll talk about calls to action. So remember, people are coming on at any point. So you might be on for 15 minutes and they might have come in at 10. So you might want to re-welcome them in. For those of you just joining us, we're talking about XYZ, and then continue your point, and repeat some things. Give shout outs to people who are there, keep them engaged and staying on. Ask them to invite other people. Hey, if you like what we're talking about, if you got any wisdom, please invite somebody. Okay. Instagram TV is my new favorite that I actually am putting a strategy around as we speak. So it has its own feed, it has its own app, but you don't need that app. Okay, it's also integrated within Instagram itself. If for some reason you don't see this at the top of your Instagram app, then please re-download or make sure you have the most current version of Instagram, and it will show up, okay? Because this is the Instagram TV feed, and the way you can go live, or when you swipe left, there's also a live option. Oh, that's live. We're talking about Instagram TV. Blech. Anyway, this is Instagram TV. Thank you. So it shows up in the Explore page. The Explore page is that search, the magnifier glass page. So all your Instagram TV shows are going to show up in Explore page. There's a great way to get featured and be seen. So if you weren't getting any visibility on Instagram, Instagram TV is great. And drum roll please, you can schedule your Instagram TV shows through Facebook Creator Studio. And you're like, what? Just put in the Google search bar, Facebook Creator Studio. It will take you to that place. And you'll see you can schedule both your Facebook and your Instagram TV on Facebook Creator Studio. So that is really cool. That's very recent. It's in the last couple of months. So have at it. If you're online, this is on the web. This is where you access your IGTV, and you can upload it directly. If you don't want to schedule it and you want it real time, you can upload it from your desktop. Woohoo! That's my second prayer to the Instagram gods. You can do things from your desktop. Yes, question.
Can we multi-purpose because of the
Yes,
relationship between Facebook and Instagram? E.g., I do a live on Facebook, download that onto my PC, and can then upload it
Yes!
to Instagram TV?
Yes! The Instagram gods have heard you. So what Sylvia just asked was, can I do a Facebook Live, download it to my desktop, and then upload it to Instagram TV? The answer is yes.
Awesome, and that goes then on for my desktop. So if this
Yes!
is something Instagram allows me,
Yes!
which I can do for my PC.
Yes! Are we having a happy dance?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I have. How long can those be?
Those can be, I think they're up to an hour. 15 minutes. No, 15 minutes. 15 minutes. 15 minutes. But you can do.
But still,
You
better
can
than
break
the
it.
stories.
And break them up. Break them up into 15-minute segments. If you're a verified account, I think you can go up to an hour or so, or live. Don't quote me on this. This is changing every day. So at least 15 minutes, maybe more.
Cool.
Okay. Sorry, I don't have all the answers memorized. But there's this wonderful thing called Google. Yeah. And if anybody wants to let me know, set me on the right track, I'm here for you. Okay. So the second step is connection. let's talk about growing your followers and getting more engagement. Part of that means being consistent, okay? Don't give up. And to increase engagement, this is drum roll please, everybody let's say this together, what's on the screen. To increase engagement, engage more. Yeah. To increase engagement, you can quote me this, you can put this on your Instagram if you like. This is an original quote. To increase engagement, engage more. I really, really, really want you all to take this to heart. So here's a couple of things you can do to engage more. Follow people at related conferences. So like there's a hashtag for this conference, ACCC19. Follow everybody who's using that hashtag. Do that double tap. Double tap. Also like their posts, engage with their posts, comment on their posts. You'll be amazed at who follows you back. So make sure you have some current content in there and some good wisdom about it, okay? Ooh, I'm getting smiles. She's all lit up now. Yeah, I transformed this woman. All right. So here's some ideas of, things, and then follow hashtags that your audience also would follow. Business success or conscious coaching. You name it, right? Grow your business. Hashtag grow your business. Hashtag business advice. All right. So run contests. Has anybody run a contest on Instagram yet? Okay. Well, you can run them starting on a post and then announce them on a story and then do an Instagram live about how it's going and then do a training, offer training on Instagram TV. Pretty cool. Here's the thing about contests. Require them to do at least these two things. Follow you as your brand, follow your account, and to tag someone in the comment and tell them why they should love you or why they should use whatever this contest is about. So, but tagging other people brings more visibility. If you want other people tagging other people, would be ideal. So that's a couple of engagement strategies. There's a ton of them, but I got the sign I have 10 more minutes. Okay. Thanks, Javon. All right, so remember to comment on others' posts, especially influencers of your market. So look for people who have a very engaged audience and comment on them. Be consistent. So I don't know if you can have a helper do this for you, an assistant. We have teams of people who do this. That's good. If you can't do it as much as you'd like to, but so you can have somebody do it for you. But it has to be in your voice and it has to be relevant, and it shouldn't be just like, hey, love your post. It's like if you can put some wisdom in there, you'll get more followers back. So do it. You can do it at any time. And comment back to your commenters. Give them a little heart back and say thanks for commenting. Love your post. Or if they're saying, hey, I really need this tip. Thank you for this tip. You said, great. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to DM me or DM them. You can DM, direct message people in Instagram. That's another way to engage them. Oh my gosh. Like form a relationship. That's where you want to take it into. When you can take it into the direct message arena, then you're going to start connecting with people. Then you're going to start answering their question about your product, your service, what they specifically need. So go for it. And you can also comment on stories, as I mentioned before. 3, the very most important part for getting leads and conversions on Instagram is tell them what you want them to do. Duh. What do you want them to do? How do you want to engage them? What is your funnel? Are we talking about funnels here at this conference? Yeah. So this is a step. Get them into your funnel. Ask them to opt in. Click the link in the bio. Just put that in your comment, in your description. Please do that, okay? And ask them to double tap. Remind them to bookmark. Did you know you can bookmark things, posts? Remind them to bookmark, because if they bookmark it, then they can find it again. If they want to find this tip again, remind them to bookmark it. By the way, those Instagram TV, they show up in your feed, as a post, too. So they're in the Explore tab. They show up as a post. You can design a cover for it. It's really fun. So make sure you have calls to action in everything you put on there, ideally. Maybe not every post, but some posts. And make sure that link, strategically use that link in your bio for what you really want. We have to talk about your overall strategy so that we know what the right link is. Is it just a link back to your website? No. Give them an opt-in, something to give you their link. Give them a piece of content that they can then engage with further. Give them something to start engaging back with you. Just don't send them to your homepage if there's nothing there for them other than a beautiful picture of you and 3 choices of things like your services, your products, your about. No, that doesn't tell them, that doesn't lead them down a path. Guide them. Ask questions and invite comments. That'll help get more engagement. So each call to action should have a purpose. So maybe you want more followers. The questions get more engagement and followers. Reminding them to bookmark. Again, that's an engagement, more follower strategy. Asking them to double tap. Same thing, link in bio is getting a conversion. But the more followers we have, the more calls to conversions you can have. Right? Calls to opt in for your free gift, for a free consultation, to learn more from you, to get a coupon, to whatever. Good. All right. Lead generation. We have about 7 minutes left. And we're almost there. So lead generation, leads are going to come from those call to actions on your post, direct messaging from engagements, and conversations that emerge from your stories, your lives, and your Instagram TV. So can you tell you need a little bit of a plan here? That's why I want you to use this playbook that you all have. It goes through these 3 C's, to start planning, and then at the top here, get the planner. I even put in a content calendar in there for you. I just added that at the last minute. I was like, you know what, it'd be great if you guys could, see a calendar. So it's got content idea, brainstorming area. It's got the engagement ideas, like what are you going to be, things you're going to do, like who are the influencers, start listing out influencers. You'll go to their accounts to start connecting with them, and as well as who else? People who follow them, your ideal clients or prospective clients. Okay, that's who I want you starting to engage with. And then thirdly, what is this list of calls to actions that you can put, and what is the purpose? So there's 4 tabs, the 3 C's and the 4th C called the calendar for you at the planner. So once you fill this in and you kind of got a good sense of your bio and your categories, then you can start brainstorming and filling in the planner. All right, so let's see. That's what this is the playbook up here. And this is, there's 4 tabs you can use, and that's what's waiting for you. I left time for some questions. So, and please stay connected with me on social media. You can go to my blog at transformtoday.com. Got lots of blogs of all different types of social media. My next one will be about Instagram, but right now there's one up about LinkedIn, and my LinkedIn for lead generation, as a matter of fact. And I'd love to be in touch with you. Look for me on Instagram at Coach Laura R. And thank you so much. All right, what questions? Yes, Sylvia.
How much time realistically to really grow your audience do you recommend we should spend, let's say Monday to Friday each day on Instagram? And the follow-up question is, what can we delegate and what should we never delegate?
Good questions. I think it's going to depend for everyone, but I'm going to answer it generally. So her question is, how much time should we spend on Instagram realistically to
Increase the followers.
increase followers, and then what can we delegate and what shouldn't we delegate? Okay, to time, first of all, in planning your content strategically is usually about 2 hours a week. And then 15 minutes a day for engagement, unless you happen to be inspired, do more. And it could be 15 minutes 3 days a week, if you want. So that's where I'd start and see how it's going for you. Because you'll see when you do stuff happens. What can you delegate? You can delegate, well, you've got to work closely at first with someone to help design your posts. Your 2 hours should be in the content, the captioning, and maybe the ideation. It's like, okay, if you have these categories of tips, of inspiration, of events or launches, and then you have a brainstorming session with the person or team that you're working with to co-create it. Don't just send them off with it. I would do that at least once a month to plan your monthly, okay, we need, we're doing 3 posts a week, say. Because 3 is a magic number because you saw that the Instagram timeline is set up in 3s, right? So you want to plan 6 pieces of content at a time, and that your 9 that show up look really good coordinated together, ideally. So if you're planning them in 3s or 6s, the categories, and you're mixing it up, then you've got some nice stuff. But delegate, I think it will be more and more over time as they learn your voice, because you can delegate that commenting on others in your market. Like, go find the influencers together. They can go out and find the influencers, and you can go vet those influencers and say, yes, these are the right influencers, or this is the 50 influencers. I want to regularly comment twice on every influencer a week. So then you go, and then you go through with your person of, here's what I would say to this post. Here's what I would say to that post. Now, one thing you could have them do is pre-write it, and you can approve it, or you can just send them off to do it if you trust them and if they get your voice enough and they understand what your value would be. But if you really want to be involved, you can have a Google sheet that says, this is what I want to, they can propose something, you could just edit. I'm a great editor. If somebody gets me started, it's fast for me to edit. That works for me. So you have to find what works for you. If you want to just do it, they have the list, and you just go and say, here, put this, and this, and you don't want to bother with the Instagram, mobile thing. You put it on for them, and they just copy and paste it on. That could be something you delegate. They could actually put it on. If all you have to do is read and type on your computer, they can put it on the interface for you. So be creative. Think about what you're willing to spend in a budget, and then how much you can delegate. Yes?
You're an expert. I really want to know your outlook on the automation, kind of like the background of Instagram. There's a lot of the automation going on. You hear about the bots, you hear about the follow.
So he's asking about the automation. What kind of automation do I recommend or not recommend with regard to bots in particular?
Or do you even like it? Do you agree with that?
Instagram is cracking down on bots right now, so I don't recommend it. I've had clients who've used it, and they got majorly slapped. Yeah.
So we didn't talk about ads, but I run a lot of ads for different promotions and things. So I just want to share my 2 biggest ad hacks that I found on Instagram.
Okay, 2 biggest ad hacks on Instagram, yes.
So this is just to frame this coming from, we just did a $32 million launch with Tony Robbins as one of the top affiliates. So biggest launch in internet history.
Biggest launch in internet history. I'm repeating for
really big deal.
For Tony Robbins.
We found the most effective thing to be Instagram Stories, to do ads on Instagram Stories.
Yes.
Get by far across the whole Facebook, Instagram platform. That crushed it for us.
So ads on Instagram Stories, tell me a little bit more. What does that mean? Do you put up a story that's sponsored?
Specifically like a well-curated, kind of 15-second, ad roll where it's just a swipe up, call to action. And then the other thing that we found is really interesting, if you're looking for a younger audience, which you might not be, but if you are, going on Snapchat and doing the same exact thing will get you a way cheaper swipe up, and then you can pixel the landing page so that you can then retarget them on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay, so I'm going to go over this for the recording. So Instagrams run a 15-second Instagram story with a swipe up, which means a link to, where was it going, to a landing page?
To a landing page to sign up for a webinar in this case.
Sign up for a webinar, great idea, on a story.
Yeah.
Also run it on Snapchat if you're targeting a younger audience, because you can put a pixel in on your landing page that you can then run an ad to back on Instagram to that same audience that came over from Snapchat, and it's cheaper that way.
Way cheaper, like 5x cheaper.
5x cheaper to run retargeted ads to people who came over from another place.
Yeah, exactly.
Meaning Snapchat
or anywhere, really,
or
Snapchat
Facebook, or Facebook's still kind of expensive too, but you could even do you could do it through PPC, meaning Google Ads. But that's a great ad. But we didn't talk about ads. This was more of a beginner where to start talk. But for those of you who want these ad strategies, brilliant. Thank you so much for bringing that. I told you we were going to coach each other here.
I just thought of one more quick one.
Oh, one more. Great.
So video, if you can do a video, you'll get a lot cheaper views, and then you can retarget the people that are at least 50% watchers. and that's way cheaper as well.
So targeting video views of what kind of video? Like your feed videos, your lives,
So
your...
this might be like a 3-minute video that's kind of like more about what you're doing. You're going to get way cheaper engagement on that in the order of like pennies per view versus trying to get an email straight out, which might cost you $1 to $3. So by hitting them with a video and then retargeting the people who watched half of it, you're going to bring your cost per acquisition way down.
And where did you initially put this video that you got those views?
So that would be on Facebook. Or
So
it could be on YouTube or Instagram too, I guess. But just generally that's working really well.
A Facebook video, this is brilliant because Facebook and Instagram are married. You know, Facebook owns
They talk to each
Instagram,
other, yeah.
right? And the interfaces are integrated. So tell me your name again?
Brad.
Brad suggested was that if you put a 3-minute video up on Facebook and you'll see it gets views, right? You can even advertise to get some views. And then you can retarget people who have viewed at least half of that video back on Instagram.
Yeah.
Again, cutting your costs because they've already watched some piece of content. They may not have yet engaged with you to sign up for the webinar, and then they see it again. Retargeting is that word for creepy ads that follow you around.
Yeah.
The internet,
They work.
right?
They work
But
great.
retargeting is a brilliant marketer strategy. So I think we're out of time. Is that right, Jamal? So thank you so much. I'm here. Please contact me.